Hey, everybody. This is Lakita along on our Mental Monday. And we are so excited to be here on this Monday. I really hope that everybody had a glorious Thanksgiving. It was wonderful. We're just gonna wait for a few folks to join us, and we're just glad. We're glad that we're here. Hey, my brother Santos, how you doing? We're just taking some time out right now to give everybody the shout outs and so forth and so on before they get on. We're so excited to be here. I count it such an honor to be able to do the Mental Mondays. We're just glad. So we're just going to give a few moments for folks to join us. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So I hope everybody's Mental Monday was great. Thanksgiving was great. So I got Mental Monday on my mind. Hi, Christina, all the way from Modesto, California. Blessings to you. Amen. I'm so glad that you joined us. I don't know if this is your first time, but I'm excited that you are live with us. We are here every Monday. Thanks, Santos. Thank you. I love my hair too. Felicia Gill, God bless you, my sister. We're just giving shout outs for everyone. Make sure you share this video while it's on live. We'll only be on here for about 22 minutes every Monday, 10:30 a.m. till just about 11 o'clock. And so we are going towards that goal of getting that spot on my own show or somebody else's show on Monday. So we're so excited. Hey, Miss Sheila Posey, a great supporter. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited about you joining. How you doing, Pastor Marvin? So glad to have you to join also today. We're just grateful. I'm excited. I'm wearing one of my favorite new colors, blue. I love it. It's blue. And I'm just going to kind of switch it around here so we can get as best light as we can. Oh, yay! Christine, it's your first time. Ellis Harrison, how you doing, my brother? Hey, Royal, it's so good to see you. My brother, I love you. Keep on rapping. I love that. And keep on doing majestical things for our King. So we'll wait a few more minutes and then we just going to get right on started. And if you have any questions, because we're going to go right into it. If you have any questions, make sure that you post them. I answer every single question that you can imagine. Okay, good. We got some people are inboxing me over here. And so, okay, so we got some people that's inboxing me. That's good. Real good. Let's see. What else? I'm stuffed. I ate everything I could eat. I had it all for breakfast. I made no excuses for it. It was a good Thanksgiving time. I love my family. My kids was with me. And so that was really great. And we're just excited. Wanda Stallings, yay. Thank you for sharing my video, please. Sheila, thank you so much for sharing the video. We are trying to go viral. I believe that this is the time of the season that I'm supposed to be heard. I believe that you guys coming on every Monday is letting me know that it is needed, it's necessary. So we're really excited about that. And we're grateful to God for the opportunity. We're going to wait a few more moments and then we're going to go from there. All right. If there's any questions, let me know, because once we get in, we in there. I'm going to take off the chimes of all of my other little gadgets that I got going on around here and get us where we need to be. And then we're going to rock and roll. So excited. Hey, Dr. Anisser, yes, my sister, God bless you. Love you so much. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Lakita Long, and I'm the host for Mental Mondays, which is a live program that I've created that allows listeners to ask hard questions about their life, how to better their life, so that they are encouraged, equipped, and that they understand how to live a more simple life, yet fulfill their destiny and purpose. Most of the topics are topics that are off the grid. We talk about sex, marriage, relationships, faith, life, stress, you name it. My job is to motivate, inspire, train, and to teach using biblical principles and psychological concepts. That's what I've been called to this earth to do, and to make biblical principles a household name. So in that, I get an opportunity to talk about my passions and my love. As a person who loves psychology, mental health, counseling, and things of that nature, I just want to be able to combine and merge those two different worlds and to show people the essence of how we use the sacred things, which is God's word, with the secular things, which is the things of the world, and how we make use of it for the practicalness of being spectacular. Okay. So Mental Mondays gives us an opportunity to kind of dig into some topics for just a few moments that we don't always dig into. Like I talked about a topic, and many of you guys have asked me to come back to that topic, and I will. We've been planning all the way into 2017, so I think we've already got the first 2 or 3 months planned out. It's going to be fantastic. I'm super excited. Sexless marriages in the church. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, is it really, let's see, what were some of the other ones that we had here? Oral sex and its effect on marriages. The lack thereof of having oral sex in your marriage, and how to get over abuse and still be mentally available in your relationship. So we have tons of different topics that we're going to be going on, and we're just so excited. So I see a couple more people. Anthony Perkins, bless you, my brother. God bless you so much for joining us. We're going to get right started. Okay, so I get a chance every Monday to come to you, and you guys are making me great by sharing this information. Tons and tons and tons of people have been truly, truly blessed by the information. So I take it very, very serious. This is not hodgepodge stuff off the top of my head. This is real stuff. This is research stuff. This is stuff that over the practice of time of doing clinical work, I've gotten an opportunity to do that, and we're up for licensing, so I'm studying. So pray for me. I'll be studying for that licensing stuff in January if I feel comfortable for it. But I wanted to talk about something that was powerful and really potentially dangerous if we ignore it, and that is the topic of mental standoff. How to get your mind back. So how do we lose our mind in the first place? Many of us at one point in our lives have lost our quote unquote mind, or lost our way, to the point of confusion or lack of clarity. And it's disrupted some area of our life. So when I think of losing my mind, I'm merely describing the moment in time when things go bleak, dark, look impossible, feel impossible, and then our own mouths start to speak that which feels and thinks that it's impossible. So then we become co-conspirators with what we feel, and we create a death-like situation for our life, right? So like an armed robber, at times, an undisciplined, intoxicated mind will create a standoff that will not allow things to leave that are negative, or good information to come inside. Some circumstances in our lives we cannot avoid. Deaths that are untimely, bad news that sends us spiraling out of control, loss of a job, even when we have been performing very well on the job, injustices that continue to happen to us simply because of the color of our skin, or because of the race that we're in, or the ethnicity that we're from. Many, many different things cause us to gravitate towards when our minds begin to stand off. And so when I say mental standoff, I want you to imagine this battle that goes on inside of our head. Like if we walk into a bank and somebody came in that wanted to rob the bank, and we happen to be in there at the time of the robbery. Well, then the cops are called, and now there's a standoff between the robbers and the cops. They don't want to release the hostage, us that are in the bank, and the cops are saying, well, look, you're surrounded. We're coming in if you don't give us what we need. this is the same kind of thing I want you to imagine for your mind. When I say mental standoff, there are times that our minds wars against our own self. And we know this to be true according to the word of God in the book of Romans and the book of Proverbs. It talks about the mind. It talks about when the mind is not renewed, when it's not refreshed, when it does not allow information to come in and allow it to sort of regurgitate and to renew your spirit. What happens with that? Or if we move and continuously walk in carnality, that the end thereof of that thing we know is death, right? So I wanted us to just kind of give a caveat to how we lose it, just so you can know that none of us are exempt for the possibility of losing our minds, right? And so let's go to what we do every week, which is the etymology of the word mind. I want us to go to the understanding of what the word mind means. Now, in the late 12th century, the Old English word gemind, G-E-M-Y-N-D, it stood for the word memory. Now, this is really important. Memory, remembrance, state of being remembered, thought, purpose, conscious mind, intellect, and intention. Now, the Proto-Germanic word of the word mind, which is like sort of the old term of gemind, it actually meant, the word mind actually meant love, the loving memory of something, right? Now watch this. The root word pi, P-I-E, of men, M-E-N, means this: to think, to remember, have one's mind aroused, which creates the way in which you and I have our senses. Okay, and I'm intentionally going slow because I have to set this foundation so you can understand the power of your mind and why you cannot lend it to just anything, right? You just can't. So the word mind in the Greek, as time went on, it meant muni, which is the word sage, which also meant seer, S-E-E-R, like a seer. Now, that word in the Greek then goes to I yearn. And from the I yearn place, we get mania, which means what? Madness. Or mantis, M-A-N-T-I-S. And I don't normally go this technical, but it's really important for us to see the power of how these words go from one thing to the other. We started off with thought and memory and remembrance, and now we're down to mania, M-A-N-I-A, which means madness, and it moves into mantis. And this means one who divines, who's a prophet, who are seer. Now, I love the Latin interpretation because Latin has been around for eons and years. So the Latin word mens, M-E-N-S, which is also the word mind, means understanding, reason, like I remembered. It means thought and idea. Now, I want us to think about something because the mind is a faculty, okay? Our mind is actually the additional portion of the brain. It's actually connected, but it's separate. It has a mind of its own. And I'm going to break down what its components are because it's really important we get it, because some people have crossed the line of no return mentally. And I'm going to share what I mean by that. So when we think about the faculty, the mind, which is one of the oldest senses in the whole wide world, which is memory, we've got to learn how to not allow mental standoffs to happen. And for some of you, like it was for me, mental standoffs was happening too frequent. It was happening all the time, right? And so what I want you to consider in thinking about the mind is your ability to remember. It's your ability to remember. It's your ability to take care of. It's your ability to be reminded of, to perceive, to notice, to sense, etc. Okay? So let's break it down even more. What is the job of the mind? What is the job of the mind? I'm going to give you 4 things. The job of the mind, number one, is to have memory and to remember. So write it down. To have memory and to remember. Number two, the job of the mind is to reflect your intellect, to reason. To reflect your intellect, to reason. Number three, the job of the mind is to perceive and take notice. I perceive that he's a handsome man. He takes notice that I'm also gorgeous too, right? The mind does that, right? Number four, it means the job of the mind is to be careful about. It's to take heed, right? So there are four jobs. There are many other jobs that I just wanted to extract those main important jobs for the mind. Now here's the fun part. But what are the components of the mind? Because you cannot know why the mind is breaking down if you don't understand the structure of the thing that's broken, right? So this is why I'm taking this time. So what are the components of the mind? The fundamental components of the mind is also four things as well. Number one, the components of the mind includes consciousness. Somebody say, wake up. Consciousness, memory, storage, and recall. So consciousness means you wake up, remember, restore, and recall. Number two, emotions. The components of the mind is emotions. It's generated with the association to the memories. Okay? This is why some people never get their minds back, because their emotions is tied to the memory of a thing. And that's because their mind hasn't released the pain and or the feeling that they had attached to the memory. But I'm going to help us today how we break the cycle and re-engineer how we think about past experiences. See, this is why I truly believe the Word of God is so powerful, because I now understand that the Word of God really is the antidote to people not going on the edge of crazy and remaining there. If we would just utilize the principles of God's word, practice it so God's word can re-engineer the various, things that are happening inside of our brain and get us to a place where we don't associate our emotions with the memory of an experience. Ooh, that's so powerful. So, number three, the component of the mind, cognition. Cognition is the frameworks of how we understand a thing. Cognition. Number four is decision making. And this is the part that is programmed behavioral actions and speech content. So our consciousness, our emotions, our cognition, and our decision making process are all four components of the mind. So if your consciousness is all jacked up, your waking moments, your waking thoughts and memory is all filled with negativity, your emotions are going to be generated by that consciousness, by that level of memory. You understand what I'm saying? And then from there, the cognition, the frameworks of how you understand a thing is going to be based upon your experience of that thing. After you've had that experience of what you remember and how you felt, then your decision-making process, which is programmed by behavioral input from other actions in your life, becomes skewed. You must understand that the mind is emerged because of our intellect, our personality, and it is all based upon our consciousness, unconsciousness, and our subconscious way of being. Right? So here is the caveat that I need for you to understand why it's so important. When you and I experience ongoing stuff that's just like crazy, now we may never even talk about it in our heads. We may never even speak on it, right? But what happens is the consciousness of you replaying the information in your head becomes cyclic to the way in which you frame your understanding. And then how you frame your understanding is going to create the emotions of how you respond to an experience. And if you're constantly responding to an experience in a way that moves you closer to the point of no return mentally, then your decision-making process is not going to be available for you to grab a hold to. So what do we need to do? We share that the mind is really your conscious thoughts. Your mind is your conscious thoughts. And I'm going to say it until it kind of lands just right there, right quick. My mind is my conscious thoughts. I want you to repeat that after me. My mind is my conscious thoughts. And my conscious thoughts is my memory. It's the work that I do. And it's my recall. It's the recall of what I remember. So my conscious thoughts is my mind. My conscious thoughts also includes my emotions. It's the memories that are attached to what I recall. I was date raped when I was 14 years old. So one of the things I remembered when, after the incident happened, I, in my head, said it was just a sexual experience that went bad. Because I didn't want to think that I was actually date raped by a 21-year-old, right? So then in my head, I started to create all of these things around, well, I shouldn't have been in this house. I had no business even liking a 21-year-old at 14 years old. All of these different things, right? So my emotion then attached itself to the conscious thought that it was just a bad experience that went, sexual experience that went wrong. So I went home though and scrubbed myself like almost raw because of the experience, right? And so the mind will do whatever it needs to do to protect you and I from going crazy. Now, what happens to those individuals who are already over there? You might be there too, because they're functionally people who are functionally on the other side of no return. They haven't let loose completely, but there are indiscriminate ways that we're seeing that they're not all consciously there. I mean, there are certain things I see that I read on Facebook at times or social media, and no matter who it is, I don't have to know them, but in my spirit, I'm like, oh, they like on the edge. And I promise you, I know it because I not only was over the edge and over the edge. Look, I'm telling you, I've had some experiences with this mind early on that when God brought me all the way out and showed me the power of this mind and gave me thoughts and theories, and I presented it when I was in college and school and this and the other and stuff they hadn't even heard of, but it was the truth. I realized that the mind is something we cannot play with. And that's the thing that I wanted to be able to share, that if your conscious thoughts are constantly waking up and remembering the things of the past, then your decision-making process is skewed. So how do you get your mind back? This is really important, and I just want to make sure we're on target for time and everything. Okay, great. How do you get your mind back? 3 things: choice, commitment, and action. Choice, commitment, and action. You and I have to make a choice that where we are mentally, how we think and how we feel is not working for us. Now, you don't need to go to God and pray and fast and seek God's face in order to make a choice that how you think about yourself and about other people is no longer working. It's not working for you or I if I'm in the same place mentally, emotionally, year after year. It's not working. So in order to get your mind back, you got to make a choice. So I need for someone, and I'm very serious about this, I need for someone to make a choice right now. I choose to get my mind back. You got to say it out loud. You may not even think that you need your mind back, but some of you are functioning at a 45% level, 60% level. You're not functioning in the full capacity of your purpose and destiny from which God has called you from the foundation of the earth. You're not functioning well. You're functioning at 60% level. You know how I know? Because you're still too concerned about all your haters. And because you're so concerned about all your haters, the ability to function at your maximum level is not there. You have no opportunity to function at your maximum level when you're working about outside distractions. So number 1, you must make a choice Choose ye this day whom you're going to serve. Your mind serves two different masters, the carnal and it serves the spiritual. There's two different laws working on the inside, Romans 7, Romans 8. So we understand that. So you got to make a choice. This is why I tell people all the time, it's wonderful that you want to cry in the house of God. You should, because you feel something else taking place. But I need for you to make a choice. I need for you to make a decision. The information that I presented to you about the gospel of Jesus Christ, or the information I presented to you about the way in which to have better health, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, you have to make a choice that you want it. I can't make you have it. I can't make you take it, but you got to make a choice. Number 2. How you get your mind back? You must make a commitment. You must make a commitment. Commit yourself to yourself. You have to endure the painstaking reality that you're not where you want to be, you're not who you ought to be, and you have to then create opportunities for you to get the kind of help that you need. When you have been consciously woke to death-like situations in your life, it is very difficult on your own to be released from its vicious grip. So you telling me that for the last 17 years, you've been in a crazy hellhole of a marriage, and now you finally out and you don't want to get no help, so you want to run to a woman, run to a man after being in a crazy death-like mind situation in a marriage that got you crazy in your head, miscalculating your steps on every level, and you won't get no help. Commit to your own self to get the help. You need it. I don't care if you produce, if you are great, if you are excellent, get the help. Commit to it. You know how you commit to it? I'll tell you how you commit to it. Do what I did. On March 1st of this year, I took 6 months and did what was called recharge. I became not really available to most people. Well, really nobody, really. But my girlfriends who know me, my sister girls, my ride or die, they called and checked on me because they understood. Because I let them know I just need a minute. I had a bunch of stuff that took place at the end of 2015, going into the year, and it just sent me spiraling. And I can feel myself not be 100%. And I need to be 100%. So I made a commitment to myself for 6 months. 6 months I was going to dig in to where I need to dig in for Lakita. And I'm telling you, by way of having done it, that you must commit yourself. Commit yourself to yourself. That's how you get your mind back. And number 3, you get your mind back by taking action. You must take action. We are such liars in the body of Christ. People in general. Everybody wants something. Nobody wants to take no action. What are you talking about? Take some action. Taking action, the kind that requires you to live outside of your comfort zone. You can pray about it, but I don't need you to talk about it. I need you to go get some help, join a support group, get specific about what you need, and take action. Take some action. A little bit of action. So you feel depressed. Open up the blinds, decide to walk 30 minutes every day. Depression is going to be lifted just by the mere exercise, because the dopamines that are in the neurotransmitters and norepinephrine things that are going on in your brain, they're going to send all these firing signals and tell you to wake yourself up, get consciously awoke about the things that you see while you're walking. So it's imperative that you take action. 3 ways to get your mind back. 3 ways. Make a choice. You got to make the choice. Can't nobody make the choice for you? If you don't want the mental standoff to continue to keep raging war in your head and in your spirit, make a choice. Do something different. Then make a commitment to stick with that what you're doing. And I'm telling you, you don't owe nobody any explanations. I didn't owe nobody any explanations. I'm trying to preserve my own mind, my own life, my own sanctity, my own everything. I don't owe nobody nothing. As a matter of fact, the only person I owe is to love myself and to love God. And if I can just do that, everything else gonna fall into place. It really does. But if I do not have the capacity to follow through on what I say I need, I can't do nothing for nobody else. So I have to make a commitment to my own mind. And then I had to take action. I had to literally take action. So some things that I had to no longer have. Some ways that I ate, I can no longer eat. And I'm telling you, you got to quit playing games with your mind. Let me tell you how you play games with your mind. I'm a single woman. One of the things I thought about over this Thanksgiving holiday is I love my life. I love my family. I'm grateful to God for all the wonderful things that are getting ready to come on the scene. I was like, Lord, I just really, God, where's my husband at? Because I'm not going to settle. You know, he ain't just going to find me and piecing together stuff from Facebook. I know what I desire. He ain't got to have $5 million, but he ain't a person that don't know how to take care of his business either, right? So I was thinking about this. And the Lord really spoke to me. For those who are Christians and believers, he spoke to me just in my heart and just in my spirit. And he said, I dare you, just like you do with everything else in your life, I dare you to really, really give me that part of your life. And it dawned on me that I don't really give God that part of my life. And God was like, you don't really have that great of a history, so you should. Right? It is ridiculous for me to try to do something on my own when I don't have good history in that area, per se. Know a lot of great men, right? But a lot of great men is not my husband, because I'm only going to marry one man, right? So what am I saying? I have to take the chance to make the choice to trust in my process, do what I do, he coming. Make the commitment to stay focused and not settle, and then take action when he does show up, to not play games. We all say that we won't, but sometimes women, we just play a lot of games. So I had to consciously come to a reality about that area in my life, and then not worry about it. And like a ton of bricks fell off of me, like literally not worried about it. Focus on my babies. So what I'm sharing with you, that in order to get your mind back, make a choice, make a commitment, and take action. So imperative. Now, one of the things I want you to understand, that the mind is full of tricks. You will talk yourself out of something good and not even know it was the greatest thing for you, because your mind was accustomed to thinking negative and being negative. And if you don't have people around you that are honest about how they hear you speak, or what they discern you are saying when you're not speaking through your actions, then you will constantly live in that kind of a cycle. But you need to get consciously woke to how you want to live. That's how you get your mind back. You got to get consciously woke. I know how I want to live. I keep imagining, I was on the freeway driving yesterday, and I imagined to my left the tarmac to come pick me and my kids up in my jet. I saw it. I literally saw the jet. And I'm not really that kind of a chick. I'm not, but something is going, I saw it. And I was like, yes. My daughter asked me the other day, what's your dream car? And I said, I don't really have a dream car because I'm not into it. I said, you know what? It's a GT Continental Bentley. 4 doors, candy apple red with a little bit of the sparkles and the inside is cream. She said, Mom, I want to see it. And I said, yes, because she needs to see it too and visualize it. I just think they're nice cars. When I got one that just suits me well, it's just nice. Just nice, right? It'd be beautiful to have. So when you want to get your mind back, you've got to decide what it is that you really want. Now, if you want to live in a crazy kind of drama-filled life that's full of non-productivity at the end of the day, at the end of the week, year, then so be it. But if you want to be progressive, you want to do the things that God's called you to do, you want to advance the kingdom of God, you want to live this life. We got one life to live. What? You got one life to live. Then you got to make a choice, you got to make a commitment, and then you got to take action. Listen, I hope that this Mental Monday has been really, really a great opportunity for you all. We are at our time, right on time at this moment. And so I want to thank you for joining on this Mental Monday, where we talk about real issues with real solutions. I love you guys so, so much. Please share it with somebody. Somebody needs to make a choice today, a commitment, and take action for real. Don't let people just keep talking about what they're going to talk about and let them talk about it for another 5 years. Be a friend, be something, and help people actualize where they need to be. And in doing so, I guarantee you, you will help them get their mind back. Wow. I love you guys, and thank you so much for loving me every Monday at 10:30 a.m. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Blessings.